Welcome to the Baron's Chest. Today, we draw back the curtain on one of history's most enduring legends, Robin Hood, the outlaw hero who's been stealing from the rich and giving to the poor for over 700 years. But who was he really? And how did a possibly real rebel become a green-clad icon with a bow and merry band? The earliest known reference to Robin Hood appears in a 1377 poem called Piers Plowman, hinting that by then, the name was already part of English folklore. But the roots likely stretch back even further to real-life figures who resisted authority in the forests of medieval England. In the 1200s, England was a land of crushing taxes and corrupt sheriffs, so tales of a bold outlaw standing up for justice quickly found an audience. By the 15th century, ballads like A Jest of Robin Hood gave Robin a clear moral compass, robbing the greedy rich, aiding poor peasants, and showing mercy to women and the faithful. But in those early versions, Robin wasn't a nobleman in disguise. He was just a clever, fearless yeoman. It wasn't until the 16th and 17th centuries that the story evolved into what we'd recognize today. He gained a forest home in Sherwood, a love interest in Maid Marian, and a roster of colorful allies like Little John, Friar Tuck, and Will Scarlet. Later writers even elevated Robin to an outlawed noble, the Earl of Huntingdon, wrongfully disinherited, seeking justice in a corrupted kingdom. This change added a romantic flair and made him more palatable to elite audiences of the time. By the Victorian era, Robin Hood had become a full-fledged literary hero, galloping through stage plays, operas, and penny novels. Subscribe to the Baron's Chest for more tales of history's unsolved riddles, curious characters, and legendary lore. As time marched on, Robin's myth took on the shape of whatever culture needed most. In the early 20th century, he starred in silent films and Hollywood blockbusters, swinging from trees, cracking wise, and thumbing his nose at tyranny. During times of economic despair, Robin became a working-class champion. During wartime, he became a symbol of freedom. Even now, in a world of billionaires and rising inequality, his story strikes a chord. Who doesn't want to see the greedy humbled and the powerless defended? But questions remain. Was Robin Hood a real person? Some believe he was inspired by a combination of real outlaws from Yorkshire or Nottinghamshire. Others argue that Robin Hood was simply a generic term for a criminal on the run. We may never know for sure, and maybe that's part of his magic. Robin Hood doesn't need to be real. He needs to be believed in. He's the eternal rebel in green, hiding in the trees, watching the road, ready to leap out with a wink and a plan. Now it's your turn. What's your favorite version of Robin Hood? Is it the rogue with a bow, the charming Errol Flynn, the fox in the Disney cartoon, or the gritty outlaw from the ballads of old? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and we'll meet you in Sherwood Forest again soon.